Hello, hello. Welcome back to the show. We have a quickie today. I want to share with you three common mistakes that I'm seeing coaches and content creators make in their content. This is specific to messaging. Okay, I had a great question the other day about messaging, actually. Someone just asked me recently, is messaging and copy the same thing? And the way that I see it is no, they're not the same thing. Copy is sort of it's the full book, right? So think of a children's book or like almost a fable, if you will. Maybe a children's book like The Tortoise and the Hare. The lesson inside The Tortoise and the Hare is that slow and steady wins the race, right? That's the lesson. But if you were to read the book as a whole, there's a lot more copy inside the book. So, yes, it might not be like a 400-page novel, but there's a lot of copy. There's like emotion and storytelling and character buildup and rapport and all sorts of stuff that happens inside of a book that is copy. But the messaging is like the unique message, the one thing, the pinpoint, the clear direction, the the author wants you to get out of it, right? Like the actual message. What is the message? So the way that I see copy and messaging is like that. So the message is what I want you to get from it. The copy is the vehicle in which I'm taking you there. Does that make sense? Okay. Anyway, I digress. So I have been having the conversation a lot recently in the past couple months about messaging. And the reason that I've been having this conversation so much is because messaging is literally the number one skill for you to unlock to make money. Messaging is the thing. Like it's the secret inside of your business. It's the thing that's going to move the needle. It's the dial turner. It's the whatever analogy you want to pick. Messaging is what gets people to move. Messaging is what gets people to say, not just, oh my gosh, that's me, or yeah, I agree, but oh my gosh, that's me. And then slide into your DMs and say, how can I work with you? Messaging is what gets them to see you as the solution. So it's not just like, oh, cool, you're smart, or I like your vibe. It's what you have, I need. So there are three mistakes that I see coaches making consistently. And I've worked with thousands of them at this point over the years. And there are the same three mistakes that it's just like always coming up. So let's just dive in. We're going to go real fast. The first one, and you're going to roll your eyes on this one because you're like, oh, I know this already. Like, that's cool, but are you doing it? Right. So the first one is that you're not talking to one person. You're not talking to one person. You're still in this like weird trying to talk to everybody, trying to serve everybody. Or maybe you have narrowed it down, you like honed it in and you are talking to a person, but you're still not being specific enough. So fluffy, vague copy, fluffy, vague language, fluffy, vague messaging is not going to get people to move. Because what happens is, as we read that stuff, as we watch that stuff as the consumer, we're like, that's cool. I agree. That's cool. She changed my mind. That's cool. I like his vibe, but I don't know if that's for me. So I want to get really specific here. I'm going to give you an example. We work with so many health and fitness coaches. That was the industry I was in for 18 years, the business that I initially built. So we generally call a lot of health and fitness professionals in. And a lot of them, if not most, are teaching people how to lose weight and get stronger. Like at the end of the day, that's what their people want. I want to lose weight and get stronger. It's occasional that they might be niche specific and it's like, oh, I want to learn how to use kettlebells or I'm running a Spartan race. But for the most part, in health and fitness in general, it's like, I want to lose weight and I want to get stronger. Okay. And that's a lot of people. And I'll tell you, after 18 years in the fitness industry, I never had a client join the gym or sign up with me for any reason other than wanting to change their body, like the vanity metric. It's what we call the carrot. Like, don't judge the carrot of why people are making a change in their life. Usually, after they start the journey, that's when they're like, oh, wait, I feel really good about myself. This is like therapy. I'm really confident. I want to do a Spartan race. I want to learn a pull up, blah, blah, blah. I'm off on a tangent. Let me bring it back. So, people want to lose weight and get stronger. Here's the difference, though. If you really truly are speaking to one person, I'm going to give you two examples. Example A would be a person who is what I call a cardio bunny. She's going to the gym consistently, like 4 to 6 times a week. She's counting her calories. She's tracking her macros on MyFitnessPal. She is so diligent during the week, but on the weekends, she's binging, she's drinking, she's eating, French fries and nachos and stuff at 2 o'clock in the morning. And she's sort of in this endless cycle of she'll give it 150% during the week, and then she sort of crashes and burns on the weekend. And she's been doing this for years. But like I said, she's going to the gym. She's a cardio bunny. She knows her stuff. She's tracking her food on MyFitnessPal. That is client A who wants to lose weight and get stronger. Okay. Client B also wants to lose weight and get stronger, but she has actually been struggling with hormone issues for years. She can't regulate her hormones. She's gone to so many different doctors. The last doctor that she went to just wanted to prescribe her Ozempic, which she really doesn't want to take. She is terrified of going to the gym. She has no idea how to work out. She's never done a workout in her life. She's never had a gym membership in her life. And even at home workouts are really overwhelming for her because she doesn't know which ones to do. She's hopping on one trend diet and then the next. And every other day, it's like whatever the Today Show says or The View says she's doing. So it's keto today, intermittent fasting tomorrow, and paleo the next day. She wants to lose weight and get stronger. Can you see how by not talking specifically to one person, client A and client B literally don't know if you're talking to her? They don't know if you're talking to them. They're doing completely different things. Their current approach is wildly different. Their current level of understanding is very different. Their current level of desire and need and all of their current levels are very different. Now, notice I didn't say here, one of them is a 45-year-old woman who lives in the suburbs with 3 kids and 2.5 dogs. And the other one is this, 20-something who lives in the city, who bops around and thinks that coffee and smoothies are the only food that she needs to eat. Like, I wasn't talking about their age or their job or if they're married. It doesn't matter. But I am really clear on speaking to the one specific person. Now, I will say, there is a fear that a lot of us have, like a subconscious fear with messaging, that if we get too specific and we say something like, cardio bunny, using MyFitnessPal, or hormone issues, going and being told to use Ozempic, we fear not so much that we're going to lose people, like we're going to leave people out, but we fear that what if our ideal client, our dream client, doesn't actually use MyFitnessPal? Like, what if she's not a cardio bunny? What if she's going to the gym 3 or 4 times a week and she's doing some like lifting, but she's not a cardio bunny? So now there's a fear that if I use specific language, I'm actually going to miss the mark on my true dream client. But what actually happens with messaging is when you get that specific, you, the author, you, the creator, you, the director, you're painting a vision. Like, you're literally creating something so that the consumer can see something in their mind. And when I can see it in my mind as the consumer, even if I'm not the cardio bunny, even if I'm not using MyFitnessPal, even if it's not hormone issues, my brain can very quickly insert what it is for me. So if I'm reading that as a consumer and you do say something like, rushing around after a crazy day to go pick your kids up at school, and I don't have kids, at least when you paint a picture, my brain could connect the synapses real fast to fire and wire and go, okay, I don't have kids, but I'm rushing to fill in the blank, go to happy hour with friends, rushing to get home to let my dog out, rushing to get to a doctor's appointment that I had made, rushing to whatever. And so the brain, when you create a visual, can more easily connect the dots and fill in the blanks. Mistake number 1, you're not talking to one person. Mistake number 2, your content doesn't actually connect back to the thing that you're selling or the thing that you're putting out. Now, this can seem very obvious, but this is a huge mistake that we've all made. I've made this mistake. Remember, when I say content, I am talking about like an umbrella here, and under the umbrella lives emails, podcasts, guest speaking, social media posts, blog posts, Pinterest, like anything that you're creating and putting out to your audience via pretty much the internet, that's going to be content. Okay. So what you want to make sure is that the content that you're putting out is going to relate back to the offer that you're selling. And when I say selling, I'm just talking about promotion. I'm not talking about money. So selling can be free. You can be selling, come listen to my new podcast episode, which is free. You could be selling, join my free Facebook group. You can be selling my new free opt-in that I have, where it's a PDF where you're going to download XYZ to get yada yada result. So you can sell stuff that's free. You can sell stuff that's paid. You can sell digital. You could sell physical. You could sell retreats, in person, events. I mean, there's a million things you can sell. But the point is that your content and then the message in your content should be related to the thing that you are about to sell, and then currently selling. And so, what you want to make sure you're doing in your content is that you're focusing on the education piece. That's really important. But we also want to focus on the belief piece. So, you want to shift the belief of the consumer. How do you do that? You stick a flag in the sand and you say, this is what I believe, and let me tell you why, and let me show you how. This is what changed in my life, and now I believe this. I used to believe this, and something happened, and now I believe that. Because when you teach people how to think, they will come back to learn. That is what a thought leader is. So you're going to show up in your content and you're going to shift the belief. You're going to educate and teach because that creates authority, that creates credibility, that creates like, oh, okay, she knows her stuff. Okay, cool. You're also going to create content that showcases their pain as well as you are the solution. So it's showing the pain that they're going through, the challenges that they're going through. You're poking at the problem, but then you're also showcasing yourself and your framework as the solution. So it's a different type of content, solution-based content. This is a solution. Here's what you've been trying. It's not working. Here's a better solution. Here's another example, how my client went from A to B using this solution. Another example, how I went from A to B using this solution, right? So we have content on belief changing. We've got education. That's going to be a lot of that kind of how-tos and the whys. That's going to set you up as the authority. We've got transformation, which is also part of storytelling, whether it's yourself or other people, the pains, the solutions, and really ultimately you want to be tapping into the core desire that your ideal client has. The core desire is the thing that people don't really want to say out loud. It's not make six figures online. It's not lose weight. It's deeper than that. It's create $100,000 a year using my phone so that I don't have to go into an office, so that I can go take Pilates on a random Tuesday afternoon with my girlfriend at 2 o'clock, get coffee after, and sit there for 3 hours and it not matter. That's the core desire. Make 10K a month so that when I go out to a restaurant with friends, I can not be stressed about what I'm going to order, don't look at the price, and then grab the bill at the end and treat everybody. The core desire is something that people sometimes don't want to say out loud. It's not lose weight and get stronger. The core desire is maybe my spouse and I, my significant other, my partner and I haven't been intimate in a way that makes me feel sexy in 6 months. We actually haven't had the lights on, and I just want to be able to have the lights on. I want to feel good enough in my body to initiate the intimacy. That's the core desire, right? So really get down into that in your content. So number 2 is make sure that what you're speaking about, the content that you're putting out, is actually connecting back to the offer that you're then creating, promoting, and you're essentially nurturing people through your content. Okay. And then the very last one, the third one, is the content that you're putting out is very like, yeah, I totally agree. Hell yeah. Yes, queen. Like that type of like, yeah, that's me. But it's not solution oriented, which we started to talk about in point number 2. So if you're getting a lot of content or you're putting out a lot of content that people are DMing you and saying like, hell yeah, that's me, or they're commenting underneath like, oh my gosh, I feel seen, but you're not getting sales, that's a pretty good indicator that you might be stuck in this little hamster wheel vortex bubble, and we got to get you out of it. Okay. So solution-oriented content is not only going to offer the solution, but as I said earlier, it's going to position you as the solution, you as the authority, you as the person, the place, the course, the program that they want to say yes to. And this, again, goes back to thought leadership. When you teach people how to think, they will come back to buy. So it's your job and your content to be showcasing that you and your framework, or you and your process, or you and your modality is the solution. But if you're just putting content out that's aspirational or inspirational, that's generally where we get the like, yeah, totally love that, agree, it's happened to me too, which is nice. And honestly, it might get you a lot of saves. It could potentially get you some shares as well, but it's not going to convert to sales. So take a pulse check. Are you getting a lot of those are you getting a lot of those comments? And if you are, check in. When was the last time you put out solution-oriented content? Solution-oriented content is also content that is giving the solution. Newsflash, right? So often we're scared to give away the solution because we're like, man, people are supposed to pay for that. Well, how do they even know that you have the solution if you're not willing to share it? Right? So yes, they're going to pay for it, but think of like, this is the first thing that just popped into my mind. I don't know why. Medicine, like the pharmaceutical companies and medicine, we see the commercials, right? It's like, get this cream to help with eczema. And the commercial shows us like what eczema is and how uncomfortable and swollen and red and itchy and painful. And oh, it's so awful to live with eczema. And then I use this ointment, this topical cream, and all of a sudden my eczema goes away. And then I'm running on a beach with some handsome guy, or we're like riding bikes. Like that's always what the commercials are. You know what I mean? But the story that they're telling is enough of the solution for us to get bought in to buy the cream or the ointment. So I don't have to actually try the ointment. I don't have to actually like use the cream to then say, yeah, that's the solution. I just see the company, I see the product as the solution because of the way that they're messaging it to me. They're showing me the before and after. They're showing me the imagine if your life after. Here's what it could look like. It's amazing, right? You're living in this beautiful house in Malibu all of a sudden. Riding horses or something on the beach. Like that's always what it is. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but I do know why. I do know why. You know why too. It's messaging. They're creating the vision, they're creating the story. So you can offer the solution, you can tell people, showcase, share, story tell, give the client results, the A to B, the personal, the transformation, the solutions, without actually having to give the solutions. Like people will come and buy the solutions. So showing people what the issue is that they might be having. And this is very meta because right now I'm talking about it in this episode going, you might have a messaging problem. Like if people are just DMing you like, you're amazing, but they're not buying, it might be a messaging problem. If people are spending 40 minutes on sales calls or 100 DMs back and forth going, I don't know, I'm not really sure. Is it for me, the program? Yeah, when are the calls? What day? How many times? Do I get instant access? Are there replays? Like if they're asking you a million questions like that, it's likely a messaging problem. If you're not getting any traction whatsoever, it's likely a messaging problem, right? So it's kind of meta. It's like Inception, because I'm telling you right now that you might have a messaging problem while also equally offering you a couple different solutions. So just a couple things to look at if you are feeling that sales are a little bit slow, or you're feeling that conversion is a little bit low, or I was going to make another rhyme, but I don't have one. So ho ho. And that's game time. That means Jess is done. I hope you found this episode valuable. I'm so excited to continue the conversation of messaging with you because, like I said, this has been the most prevalent topic that's been hanging around in the behind the scenes world of DBE for a couple months now. My clients, my DMs, people asking me to speak at different conferences, it's all been about messaging. And honestly, I believe that it is that way because the industry has become more saturated than ever. Not a problem, but it is your job to then out sophisticate the market. And in order to out sophisticate the market, the thing that you really need to amp up and ramp up and hone in on and amplify is your messaging. That's the thing that's going to get you to stand out. The other reason I think that is such a hot topic right now, specifically with me, is because I have been running this business now for quite some time. 12 years all in, 7 years full time. So I count it from 7 years full time leaving my job. And we've generated multiple millions of dollars just by being good at messaging and getting better at messaging, organic content, putting stuff out there, small following, right? So I think people see me as a messaging expert, something that I'm still working on. We're always honing in on our craft. We're always working on those things. But it's just been such a hot topic that I'm like, let's bring the conversation to the forefront. Okay. If this was helpful, I would love to hear from you. Take a screenshot of the episode, share it out on social media, tag me at I am Jessica DeRose. But most importantly, like, let me know what about it was helpful. Did I simplify it? Did I take out some of the overwhelm? Are you currently making one of these mistakes and you're like, shoot, I need to go fix that? Is there something that you want me to expand on? Like, have the conversation with me so that I can continue to help you. And as always, friends, cheers to revolution. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you loved this episode, I invite you to be a part of our ripple effect and share it with a friend. And please, if you feel called, take 30 seconds to leave a 5-star review, and I'll be forever grateful. Until next time, cheers to your evolution.